What's going on, everyone? If you've been struggling to make a bigger turn in your backswing, well then this is the video for you. I'm going to show you a 3-step process to improve your back mobility, particularly your mid-back, so you can achieve a bigger turn in your backswing so you can hit it further off the tee. All right, let's get right into it. In the golf swing, you need to have enough mobility in 4 main areas to achieve a very effective and efficient golf swing. Those include the neck, the shoulders, the mid-back, and the hips. In a previous video, I went over a 3-step process on how to improve your hip mobility to achieve a bigger backswing. Go ahead and click the link above if you have not checked that out after you're done checking this one out. Also, if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. That helps me know that you're watching, and I can learn a little bit more about what you would like, so you can make sure that you're also notified when I put out more videos, because these things are going to keep coming out regularly, so you want to improve your body and your golf game. So we're going to go over how to improve your mid-back mobility. Now, you need to be able to rotate through your mid-back and kind of between the big bump in the back of your neck right down to your last rib. From there, we want to keep the low back nice and stable, because if the low back starts to end up rotating more, the low back may end up resulting in an injury, because the low back should be pretty stable and not move too much in the golf swing. So that's where a lot of golfers end up experiencing low back pain, because they don't have enough mobility in the hips or their mid-back, and they make up for it in the low back. I've also made a few videos on that, so you can go ahead and check those out. I'll link those up above as well. So as we're going to go through, I'm going to go through a 3-step process to improve your mid-back mobility. So let's get right into the first step, where we just want to unlock and get some joints moving a little bit better. And I guarantee you're going to see better mobility within 2 minutes doing this first drill. In this first drill, we need to get things moving and unlocked a little bit so we can actually rotate a little bit better. So go ahead and grab a chair. You're going to sit on the edge of the chair, and then what I'm going to have you do is you're going to bring your feet and your knees together, and you want to keep them together throughout the drill. That's going to help kind of somewhat lock out the hips and the low back as best as possible, so we're only isolating movement from the mid-back. So from there, you want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall as best as you can throughout the drill. And we're going to use our breath to kind of mobilize some joints in our back, and as well as the ribs from there. So we're going to cross our arms against our chest. You're going to rotate as far as you can, just one way. And then I want you to notice how far you can rotate, right? So I'm about right here. Now from here, you're going to tilt back towards that side, okay? And then from there, you want to take in a few deep breaths. So you want to go and let it out. As soon as you're done letting out one big deep breath, you're going to sit back up, and then you should be able to rotate a little bit more towards that side. And you're going to repeat that process. So you're going to tilt back, breathe in and out, sit back up, and then rotate again. And then one last time. And that's probably about as far as you may be able to get. And then you want to do that a couple of times towards that one side, and you're going to repeat that process towards the other side. As you can see, just by doing that and taking a couple of deep breaths and kind of mobilizing and moving in a certain direction to get the joints to move a little bit better, I was able to rotate where I started about here, and then I'm all the way here now. So go ahead and give that drill a try. Like I said, do about 2 to 3 breaths per side, and do around a couple times to each side, and then see to improve that mobility, just to unlock it a little bit. Now we're going to get to step 2. All right, so for step 2, what we're going to do is, now that we have some new range of motion in the mid-back, we want to actively engage muscles to go through that new motion. So there's lots of ways to do this. I'm going to work and show you guys a couple of drills right here built into one drill that will get you to rotate both ways, and should be fairly simple for most people to do. So the first thing that you're going to do is that you're going to get onto your hands and knees position here. Okay, so your hands should be directly underneath your shoulders, and your knees should be directly underneath your hips. Okay, so from here, you're going to take one arm, and you're going to, what we call thread the needle. So that's the first part of this exercise. You're going to thread the needle. So you're going to reach underneath your arm and try to rotate as far as you can. And then from there, you're going to go up this way, up towards the ceiling as far as you can, and you're going to repeat that process. So we're going to reach back under, really try to pull through as hard as you can and reach as best as you can. And then as you're reaching up towards the ceiling, one thing that you can really think about is pushing down with this arm. That will help kind of pull your trunk towards that direction. And as you're lifting this arm up towards the ceiling, think about pulling with your shoulder blade up, back towards your other shoulder blade. That will help to, again, increase that motion and really take advantage of as much mobility as you have in the mid-back now. So you're gonna repeat that side to side, and then this is what it looks like from the side here. You're gonna reach through, and then you're gonna reach up towards the ceiling. Good. So I would do about 10 to 15 of those aside, and then we're gonna move into step 3, which is adding some resistance. So here we are at step 3. We're gonna add some resistance into that motion. Now we work the muscles a little bit into the new range. We want to also really reinforce that by adding some resistance. So if you have a resistance band or tubing or anything like that at home, this is going to be great to add on to. If you don't have anything like that, that's totally okay. Just really try to go far as much as you possibly can in step 2 that we just did, okay? So what I'm going to have you do is get that band, depending on the resistance and how heavy it is, you may need to wrap it around your hands a couple of times just to add some more resistance, or make it a little bit easier by wrapping it around less times. So go ahead and you're gonna stand, put it in your hands, stand with your hands straight out in front of you at about shoulder height, okay? And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna keep one arm there, and then you're gonna rotate back with the other arm. And you're gonna come back. And you're gonna do this 10 to 15 times each side. Again, as you're going, make sure that you maintain an upright trunk. Try not to extend back or really round forward. You should be kind of upright, and then you're rotating as far as you can. You can put a little bend in your knees as well to just kind of help stabilize yourself. But what you want to do, again, here is think about, as you're rotating this arm that's staying still, think about pushing away from you. And then on the side that's rotating back, think about pulling with that shoulder blade back. That will really help to engage a lot of muscles to help rotate as far as you can, so you can get maximum rotation through your mid-back, okay? And the only thing that you should really be turning is through your shoulders and your mid-back. Notice that everything else in the core and lower back is staying relatively still. Everything that's rotating is just through the shoulders, okay? So you want to do that 10 to 15 times each side, and then that's basically the 3-step process. All right, everyone, so I hope that was helpful, and I hope that 3-step process made sense. So again, you want to mobilize and work on improving that mobility first. Then once you have new motion, you're going to work your muscles through that new motion actively. And then if you have a resistance band, and you can work it with some resistance, that will really help maintain that. Again, the main thing that you really want to work on with this is you want to make sure that you do this day in and day out, especially if you really need to work on it, because that's how the changes are going to happen over time. You're not going to be able to just do this once and then maintain those changes. Okay, so make sure that you are consistent with doing this day in and day out, and then you will notice changes over some time. Like I said, if you haven't checked out the 3-step process for improving your hip mobility, I'll link that up above again, so you can go ahead and check that out. Again, if you also haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel. That would be great, and you'll get notified when I'm putting out more videos. So please share this video if you find it to be super helpful. I think that would be great, that we can help more golfers improve their game and their body so that they can stay healthy and play their best on and off the golf course. All right, keep working hard, keep striving for excellence, because when you feel great, you golf great.